Hi, I'm Lauren.
And I'm Christina.
And this is our podcast,
Let's Chew the Fat.
At what point do we sing a 5 Seconds Sober song? We could just start with like...
I forgot what was it.
Amnesia.
Which one is it?
Bad Omens.
Bad Omens, nothing that I can't let go. No.
Nothing that I don't already know.
So, hello. As you can see, we are still obsessed with 5 Seconds of Summer.
Yeah. We're just as shocked as you are.
I really thought it would
that sounds
go
bad.
away.
But the like post-concert situation we thought would stop after like 3 to 4 business days.
But it hasn't. I'm still listening to them. I still feel sad when I watch the videos or when the girls send like TikToks or Instagram reels to the group chat. Mm-hmm. I can't watch them.
Specifically the ones of the concert. Like those hurts. Like other concerts that they did after our concert.
Yeah.
I wanted to be there.
It's just hard.
You guys don't understand.
I don't know how to fix this. I'm just trying to like ignore that and like not watch my TikToks that I made from the concert. I mean, I'm still listening to their music.
Oh, the reel that I made, I watch it like 3 times a day.
That one is killing me.
Just I wake up, I watch it before I go to bed. I take a quick look.
It's insane. I was thinking about it today. I was like, I need an advice from a psychologist or a therapist because it doesn't seem normal.
Laura asked her therapist.
I know, but I think
she wasn't that helpful.
No. I don't, and I feel kind of stupid for feeling like this, but at the same time are just like, well, thousands of people feel this for sure when they come from a concert.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about it, so here we are to talk about it. I don't know. But what did we do? Last weekend, we went to another book event.
Oh, we did.
Which was a lot of fun. I bought new books.
She did. 5. By the end of the event, she had 5. No, by the end of the, presentation of the book. She was just sitting in her corner, and the corner was right next to the bookshelf.
In the really nice, comfortable chair.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. As always, I love the presentation. I love the whole, it was a lot of English teachers.
It was hilarious.
So, I don't know why. It's so entertaining. They have such a specific way of, presenting and
talking.
It was great.
I loved it. I just love these events. I think it's especially nice for me, and it feels comforting because you go somewhere where there's a lot of people who have kind of a similar experience in the sense of living abroad. All of them, or most of them, are foreigners.
Oh, that's true too.
Yeah. So I think it's nice and comforting because finally, we live here, and then you're finally in a room, still in the same country with people who kind of have the similar story, at least with living abroad.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess that's nice.
Yeah. And the books.
The books. I love the books.
The drinks, the food.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
I already almost finished the first book I bought there and have been reading. But we'll talk about it later. What else?
Other than that, I can quickly talk about the club.
Oh, true.
Well, first let's talk about the sickness because that explains why you weren't there. We won by this freaking sickness, whatever the hell it is.
A cold, I think.
We're dropping like flies. Yeah, it's a cold. It's nothing major. It's just apparently very infectious, contagious.
I mean, we did spend a lot of time together.
That's true. But one by one, Christina, Laura, then it was me, then it was Paula, then it was one by one. It's just...
Yeah, honestly, I'm really glad I was the first one.
Christy was the first one, which is practical. I was like, so what symptom can I expect next? What can I look forward to? But that was the reason why you got sick. You kind of got sick on Wednesday, and then on Thursday we had planned to go to the club, and she was like, nah, can't do it.
I couldn't.
No. And then everybody was kind of trying to convince
they
her
were forcing me to go, and I kind of felt bad because at some point I was like, they don't believe me that I'm sick. Because, I mean, I didn't look as sick because I think I felt the, like, first symptom of having, like, congested. What's the word for that?
Constipated?
No. Just, like, full nose.
Congested.
I don't know. Just that. Just having full nose.
Yeah.
And that was Tuesday evening, I think. Mm-hmm. And so then Wednesday morning, I was like, well, girls, I'm not feeling really good. But
she warned us.
I warned them. But it wasn't anything crazy yet. And so on Thursday, you know, it got worse. And especially the evenings. Like, the evenings are the worst. Yeah. So, because, I mean, you lay down and, like, everything just, I don't know. And
you get this headache of...
Yeah. And so they were like, just come. You'll be fine. Like... I was saying something, I don't remember, but the whole conversation with being responsible, irresponsible. I was like, I'm responsible by staying home and recovering. And they were like, no. And I don't remember the counter argument, honestly. I mean, it didn't make sense, you know, but.
It was intense. It took them longer to give up than I thought it would.
Yeah, don't say. And so they didn't convince me, obviously. I was really glad I didn't go because I was still not feeling good on Friday, and I think I started feeling better Saturday, more like Sunday. I was like finally not even fully recovered, but I mean I was fine.
That's when I started feeling horrible. But the thing is, we ended up going to the club. It was fun. We were in there for like an hour. And then suddenly, I don't know, I'm not as good as telling the story. I'm just going to tell it from, like, my perspective. All of a sudden, the lights went on. I didn't realize the lights had gone on. Then the DJ says, everybody put their hands, like, up over their head. And I was a little bit confused. I don't know. I wasn't thinking much in that moment. And I just looked at Sophia, and she had just this facial expression of everybody put their hands, like, as if this was part of a show. She was like, next song is gonna be the best song of the night. Like, this is all part of the routine, all part of the DJ set. And I think Paula was convinced of the same thing too. So I was like, okay. So we stood there for a pretty long time with our hands up. But I had not seen any police, and they hadn't announced that the police was there or anything. So we were still like, I mean, I was a little bit confused. Sophia was still convinced that it was part of the show. Then they said to be silent, which made me second guess things. Then they said to put the drinks on the floor, which was, I think, when we all realized that I don't think this is part of the DJ set. Then they told us to leave, which was when I finally saw the police. And it was a lot of police, and it wasn't like in full like attire, like full protective attire. And it was like Spanish police, like not Madrid police, but like Guardia Civil police. And they told us to leave, and in the end we sat/walked around in front of the club for 2 hours, from I think 2 to 4 a.m., which was when everybody agreed that it was in fact good that Christina did not join us and have to sit outside in the middle of the night for 2 hours being sick. But it was the most hilarious story because it took us forever to realize what was going on. It took us forever to like acknowledge the fact that this was not in fact part of the DJ set. And it was a great moment. In the end, we were able to go back in after 2 hours, and it was fine. At least a lot of people had left, so we had more room to dance.
Yeah.
But that was the moment when we realized, no, Christina is in bed, and that's good.
Thank you. I was really happy when they finally acknowledged it, because I was like, okay, they trust me.
I would like to say I did not do any pressuring.
That's true.
I would like to point that out.
That's true. Yeah, and then one by one, the rest just got sick too.
Yeah.
And I was like, you see, I told you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that I would wish on anybody to be sick, obviously.
No, she would never. Yeah, so that's been a pretty big part of the past couple of days, I'd say.
Yeah.
I'm feeling better now. Saturday, Sunday were the worst for me. You're feeling better, so hopefully we've gotten through it.
Hellos and goodbyes. Or did I want to say the other way around? No, I wanted to say the other way around. Goodbyes and hellos.
There we go.
So, that's a big topic that I feel like we have a little like different opinion on.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I feel like we've touched on it a couple of times, but I wanted to do like a deep dive, you know, and just focus on that solely. I don't know why, for what reason.
Why we want to.
I think for me, it's changed a bit since I moved to Spain, and like I've gone back and forth multiple times. So the first time I was leaving, I had a whole like goodbye. What the hell? Goodbye party. Where, I mean, it was basically like this, putting a cap on
that's true.
the whole, I would say 2 years probably of quarantine and COVID, when we were hanging out with the group of my friends that I was hanging out with. And I think it was...
Were you hanging out with them?
What?
You just said when I was hanging out with the group of friends that I was hanging out with, and I just wanted to make sure you were actually hanging out.
Yes. I'm sorry, I'm overthinking this as I'm trying to remember. But it was kind of like closing a chapter in our lives, I think, kind of for all of us, because we were all going to start university.
Yeah.
You know?
It was like the end of an era.
Yeah. Because, yes, I mean, I was going away. And I mean, I don't think we realized that back then, that it was like the end of an era for all of us. Because we were all just thinking, like, I'm going away, or at least I was thinking that. I was like, I don't know when I am going to see my friends again. I mean, I know when. It's just, what am I saying here? I don't know. I knew when I was going to see them again, because I knew it's going to be a couple of months.
You're really trying to make it more dramatic. It could be 10 years. It could be 20.
Okay.
But the thing is, when we first left, like, I feel like now we have a pretty good, like, grasp of what a semester is and how much time that is. But that's in the beginning, I didn't know.
That's true.
I can picture, like, that time frame as well.
Yeah.
So maybe.
I agree. Yeah. Because, I mean, for me, that was, it felt like I was living forever. And so we did the whole party. I think it was like an overnight thing. So it was a whole thing. And I remember when we got to my house afterwards, I just broke down in tears in the middle of the night, because I was like, it's going to be so long before I see you. And like we said, like it wasn't an end of an era and like the start of a new one that we were so afraid of. And so all the goodbyes were very dramatic. And I did want to see everyone and say goodbye to everyone. And now I feel like that's changed for me. Because I'm not trying to avoid saying goodbye.
Okay.
It's just that I don't plan it and I don't force it. Like, I don't think about when I'm going to see this person for the last time before I leave again. And I realized that especially, I feel like I've mentioned it a couple of times, so I'll try to do it briefly. But this time when I was leaving, we were going from a place. My mom was dropping me off at the train station because I was going to my dad's place. And she was like, oh, I was just going to like run out of the car, run to the train. And she was like, no, I need like a place to stop the car and park the car properly so I can say goodbye. Because this is the last time before I see you, which was still like, I think 4 days before I left, but I knew I wasn't going to see her again. And I was like, no, Mom, don't do this. I don't want to make a big deal out of it, because I was feeling kind of fine about leaving. It was just like the stress of what if I come there and break down for a week again, you know?
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to like dramatize.
Sure.
Huh, that sounds weird.
I think so.
Dramatize it. That really sounds weird.
That sounds weird.
Well, just make a big deal of it. And so I think when she was hugging me and like telling me goodbye, I was kind of on the verge of tears. I didn't cry. I did very well with that this time around. But I was like on the verge of tears, and I was like, okay, mine, bye. And then I went to the train because I really didn't want to do the whole thing. And even with my sisters, like I didn't realize I wasn't going to see them, because I think I was at my dad's by myself I can't remember why. And so I didn't want to. And then my sister, my oldest sister, she came to my dad's place for one night, I think right before I left, so she would like see me and say goodbye. I was like, you don't have to, it's fine. And I think just with my two best friends, my closest friends, because they took me to the airport, which like we had a really nice moment, because I was like, thanks you guys for like still like getting me to the airport or picking me up or spending time with me like that, you know, because I was always scared that it's going to be this dramatic in the beginning, and then it's gonna be like, well, we're all like used to it, it's fine.
And that's what happened to me.
Oh. I am sad.
No, it's fine. It's okay.
She says as the tear falls off her face.
I'm laughing through the pain.
Okay. So I was like expressing my gratefulness to them, and they were like, no, like it's still a really nice thing. They even said that they want to like keep it as a tradition or something, you know, and especially like spending time at the airport itself, because that's what we did, I think, last summer. No, it was in the winter, because my mom took me and then my friends came also, and then we bought snacks at the airport and we were just there for an hour. I think because my flight was delayed.
Oh, that's true.
But they still wanted to do it. I mean, we came really last minute, so we didn't do the whole snacks thingy. Well, we did it in the car. So that was really nice. But like at this point, I'm trying not to make a big deal out of it, because I'm a very like emotional person. And so if I don't talk about it, if I don't think about it and don't make a big deal out of it, I'm fine. But as soon as people come and they're like, oh, this is the last time for like 4 months again, come here, and then we start hugging and stuff, I will cry. So what about you?
I was gonna say that I think you're onto something. I think you have the strategy figured out. I just have not yet gotten to a point where I want to accept that strategy.
That's true. I know you said that.
Yeah, but I think you're right. Like, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Unless you're leaving for, like, I say if you're leaving for, like, an unknown period of time.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. If you're leaving for, like, a couple of years, 100%. But with us, where it's literally just become, like, our way of life, there's no use in these goodbyes, really. Yeah. The only thing, of course, like, if you're, like, if you had a fight with your sister, don't just leave.
No.
Like, talk it out and say, like, get to like a good common ground, and then you leave. But in terms of like meeting up with somebody just to say goodbye, really like planning out the last time when you're gonna see that person, I don't necessarily think there's any use in that. As long as your like last memory was like a positive one, we're all good. I'm not really doing that much though. But I try to like pack it into like a smaller period of time, so like just like one day of goodbye, so I don't have a whole like week or two of just like every day like I'm saying goodbye to somebody, because I do get very upset, obviously, and I don't want to like drag that negative emotion out. And then also about the airport situation, I would like to point out that the airport is, every single airport is at least 2 hours away from my house, so you know, I forgive the people.
Yeah, I mean, that makes a big difference, because for me it's like 20 minutes by car from my dad's place. Which, you know, when I was looking at the reel that I made about like I had the to-do list and I was trying to like cross off as many things. I mean, for some reason I really loved that video, because it just reminds me of the day, and the day was insane. But I was saying like, it's 2 hours to my flight and I'm still home.
That's
like
crazy,
you know,
crazy.
And it's really different in that sense. Yeah, because like for me, usually people take me there because I can get there by public transport. But, like, from my dad's place, that's a little, like, difficult. And since it's, like, literally 20 minutes by car, we always go to the airport. Like, it's a normal thing to do.
No, with us, you have to drive through, like, half the country, which is no fun by car. Yeah. And if you, like, take the public transport, it's really expensive. So, actually, the one time that they did drive me there was the first time I ever went to Madrid. Was right when I moved the first time. And we got lost. We accidentally drove into France multiple times, like trying to find the right like entrance to the airport, because the airport that I fly from often is like, it's technically in Germany. Part of it is in Germany, part of it is in France, part of it is in Switzerland. So it's really easy to end up in the wrong country. And we spent so much time getting lost and just constantly driving into France. So, you know, it's all complicated. So I acknowledge that. But another thing that I wrote down in my notes about goodbyes when I was like thinking about it is it's a really big part of growing up, and it's a really big part of life that I did not see coming.
What do you mean specifically? Like saying goodbyes
to people and like being apart from people for like a prolonged period of time. I feel like at least the way that I grew up like in a smaller town. Not smaller town.
Mine is a tiny village.
Okay, I don't want to offend people here. So not like a small town as in a Christina small town, but a smaller town. And I had like my little neighbor, my little school. I saw everybody almost every day. I was kind of close to at least like my close family, like my grandparents. I was in this little bubble. So I didn't really spend a lot of time being away from people for a long period of time. And I never thought about the fact that like getting older and creating a life for yourself and like trying new things and like chasing your dreams requires a lot of goodbyes and a lot of distance from people that you don't necessarily want to be like distant from. And so I feel like it's really something that you have to get used to, and it's something that you have to train yourself to be able to cope with goodbyes in a way, which I feel like is why we're like coming up with these strategies of not actually saying goodbye, you know.
I'm not saying I shouldn't say goodbye. I just like, I think it's nice knowing when you're leaving, because I think it kind of gives you the push to like see the people that you maybe throughout the summer didn't have time to see. Because like I have like 2 or 3 specific people that I see like once a year or twice a year, and we do it either, I mean, over the summer. I mean, basically the same thing as with everyone else. It's just I don't see them like
less frequently.
Yeah, exactly. So then when like the summer is ending, I'm like, I still haven't seen this person. Like I need to message them. So I think it's good in this sense, but just literally just not mentioning the fact and like talking about that I'm leaving and I'm not gonna see blah blah blah, you know?
I do that so much. Literally, the last time I met up with like 2 of my friends, it was, I think, 2 days before leaving, and I knew it was the last time I was going to see them. The solid last 30 minutes of hanging out with them, that's all I did.
But I think that's the issue, honestly.
Yeah. No, 100%. But it just kept coming to my mind, and I was like, oh my God.
I mean, of course you think about it, but I feel like the more you talk about it, the more dramatic it gets. And I don't know, just literally this time around, I did not think about it almost at all, and it just made my life easier.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Thank you.
I think another thing that we talked about a little bit, I don't think if on the podcast, I think not on the podcast, was this fear, which is I think the reason why I'm really bad at saying goodbye, which is this fear that I have that something bad is going to happen in the time where I'm like where I'm away from this person or these people. Like if that's something bad happening to them, something bad happening to me, like I'm really good at convincing myself that something incredibly bad is going to happen and I won't be there, and this will be the last time I ever see this person.
Yeah, you know? I don't even allow myself to go there, I think.
See, she's so smart.
I mean, no, to be fair, I did experience that in the winter, you know, in January when I was scared of losing both of my grandparents. And then I had also, like, my younger sister wasn't doing well. And so I think that was one of the many reasons why I had that horrible, horrible week when I came back. So I guess it's not a good thing to think about it. But I think what is a good thing, I think it's good to, because yes, maybe you won't see them face to face for a couple of months. But like what I'm trying to do is like keep in contact. But like, for example, I just sent my mom a letter like the other day, you know, and I'm trying to like keep like in contact but in a different way. And so I was even telling her, like, we just, you know how we talked in school about the question that we did in the investigative reporting, and then I was thinking about my mom, and I was like, I'll just write her a letter. And this was even my opening, like, we did this question, blah blah blah, it made me think of you, and I just wanted to tell you I love you, and like I'm so grateful to have you in my life, and I'm proud of you, blah blah blah, you know. And so I'm trying to like do that continuously, so there's never like an unsad or unresolved thing, you know. And I think that helps.
And I mean, I think another thing about goodbyes is literally just the Winnie the Pooh quote,
which is Why are you looking at me like I know?
I thought you were gonna know. You were gonna say it, and I wouldn't have to say it.
I know.
How
there's
lucky
one.
am I to have things in my life that are so difficult to say goodbye to?
Something like that. It does sound familiar.
I feel like I paraphrased that somehow, but you know what I mean. Like, yes. It's literally that. And I try to remind myself of that whenever I'm sad of like leaving a place, leaving people. It's literally, it's something to be so grateful for. Like having this feeling of, I don't want to leave this place, I don't want to leave these people, whatever it is. And for us to like have that in two places, like where we're sad to leave people behind here in Madrid, we're sad to leave people behind in our home country.
That's true.
That is worth the world. Like that is worth so much. So honestly, I just try to remind myself of that.
That's true. You kind of segued into the hellos.
Oh,
part.
Did I?
You did. And
I did not notice.
I was thinking that the hello part of it all has also changed a lot from both sides, like here and home. Because at home, I feel like it was incredible. And sometimes I miss that feeling.
I was gonna say
of like coming back for the very first time when I dreaded it. No, is that the right?
No,
that's the opposite.
Yeah,
right? No, the opposite of dreaded.
Figure it out for yourself.
I was so excited and like I needed it so bad to just come home and see the people. And I think even that first time around, I had the surprise of my friends picking me up, and I didn't know. I thought my dad would come. I mean, I wasn't suspicious enough to question if my dad is coming to pick me up, but I was like, why isn't he asking me all these questions? Because usually he's like, you know, which number of your flight, when exactly are you supposed to come, tell me when you land, all of that, because he usually also like waits next to the airport because you have to pay, or you have like 15 minutes or whatever. And then I tell him, and then he comes and picks me up and we go. And he wasn't asking any of these questions. I was like, Dad, why are you so relaxed? But I didn't question it enough. But then my friends were there with this like big sign, and my sister was there. We were all crying. I was so happy. We made the vlog the very first time around because I have that on video and it's really cute. So in this sense, I miss these hellos because they were way more dramatic. But on the other hand, I'm glad that we're here now because like the goodbyes are easier.
Yeah.
But
because why were they more dramatic? Because we were having a harder time here.
Yeah, exactly.
But I do miss them. That's
exactly. True. But that's not to say that the hellos now aren't great or anything. Like they're still amazing, but it's just like a little different feeling. And I don't cry anymore, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it's different not because I miss the people any less. I just miss them differently. Like, I'm excited to see them as opposed to feeling like this need to, like, see them.
Like, and I need to breathe
go
again.
Home. Yeah, exactly. And it's more just, like, the excitement to see them and to, like, spend time with them again as opposed to I need to, like, escape from this, like, terrible, like, mindset that I am in. And the only way I can escape it is by going home and seeing these people. And I don't know, and the first time around, it also just felt like I had been gone for way longer. Like, I came home, and it was, like, this weird, like, almost kind of, like, foreign to me. And I don't get that anymore. Like, I feel like the semesters go by quicker than they did the first time around.
That's true. That may be another thing, because, like, the first semester felt like 2 years.
I mean...
Whereas now, we're done with, like, a third of our semester or something.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
And so I guess it like feels like it's going quicker, so it feels like it's not been that long since we saw
like when I went home in summer I was like, didn't I just see you guys? I mean, I was happy, but it felt like I had literally just seen them.
But I mean, as great as the hellos were in the beginning, I also like kind of have it connected to, you know, I think the first couple of times that I went home, like the very first second when I saw people was great, but then I actually like physically went home and I had these panic attacks and weird stuff that we were dealing with in the beginning. I mean, not to jinx it, but like that was also there, like to adjust there as well.
The difficulty in like readjusting.
Yeah,
that's true.
So it's all different now, but everything like has its pros and cons. And also,
now we have happy goodbyes here too. Were you gonna say that?
No, go on.
Now we have happy goodbyes here too.
Happy goodbyes?
Oh, excuse me. So happy to leave this place, but I can say goodbye to Christina. Happiest moment of my life. No, happy hellos.
Yeah.
Here too, which is amazing too. Like, you have this thing to look forward to when you have to leave, like, the other people. At least you can also look forward to, like, saying goodbye. So, for God's sake.
No.
When you say goodbye to one group of people, you can now also be excited to say hello to the people here. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Go ahead. you do this.
No, I agree with you. Like, it's amazing, but I'm also thinking about this in a way where it's so nice to, like, have people here who, like, they are excited to see you.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, they care about you enough to be, like, excited for you to come. So, like, in a sense, that makes it so much more, like, better and easier again than in the beginning, where it was just you had to be excited for yourself. But now it's, like, for the other people as well.
And they miss us when we're gone.
Yeah. Which is nice.
Which I don't hate.
But it also is starting to make the goodbyes here a little bit more difficult. And it terrifies me. It terrifies me because I'm like, what if I also start having issues with leaving the place here?
I am having issues.
I mean, it was so sad in May or the beginning of June, I don't remember, when we went to play the board games in the Six Cafe, whatever it was called. And then we were saying goodbye, and it was weird. And then we said goodbye to Sophia and Laura in the metro, and Sophia started crying.
That's part of the reason why I don't want to edit that vlog. I do not want to watch that footage.
Oh, you have to do that. I want to see it.
I don't. It was so painful.
Yeah, it was really sad. So that's, like, it's weird how everything is, like, shifting.
And, like, saying goodbye for her semester abroad, I'm not thinking about.
Oh, true.
And then saying goodbye at the end of university will kill me.
That's gonna be the most terrifying moment of my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I mean, that
might be worse than moving here.
Honestly. I mean, I can't imagine, because there's so many things that are, like, connected to that. Like, the thought of, like, finishing university. I mean, we'll see if we do masters or not, but, like,
I thought you were gonna say we'll see if we actually do it.
Well, that too. So that's gonna be a whole thing. Like, the ceremony, I'm so excited about it.
I'm gonna walk across that stage. I hope they let me walk across the stage.
I don't know, honestly, how they do it anywhere besides the US, honestly.
Yeah,
because I only know it from the movies from the US. So that's gonna be a part of it. Then hopefully, I mean, having, like, family and friends here for the ceremony. That's my dream. Same. But then saying goodbye to each other, like, saying goodbye to the life here, and, like, to our all routines that we've had.
All we've known for the past 4 years.
Exactly.
You know?
I know you hate to talk. I think for me it's fine because I can't really, like, I know in my head that it's gonna be horrible, but, like, I don't feel it because we're not there yet.
The issue is a lot of, like, the YouTubers that I followed throughout, like, high school who, like, did study abroad, and, like, I kind of looked up to them and wanted to, like, live that life. I guess they were part of the reason why I did go abroad to study. Have, like, just graduated, and I've seen their videos and I've seen their struggles, and I feel like that's why, like, it's getting so real for me.
Yeah, for me, no, I'm just living this life now, and I'm like, well, whenever it comes, it comes.
You're so good at handling things. I feel like this is what we're establishing here. I
don't know. Maybe I'm just a little bit better than you, but I don't think I'm any, like...
Well, what does that say about me?
I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's okay. It's okay.
But it's interesting to, like, not follow. To, like, watch. Like, to be the first row witness of all of this. Because I feel like before I've never really experienced...
What are you witnessing?
Like, the shifts with, like, the hellos and goodbyes, and, like, how it works and how hard it can be.
I don't think you're witnessing it. I think you're experiencing it.
I know. Like I said in the beginning, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. No, like it's just such
I thought because you said the word witnessing, I thought you were gonna say it's interesting to witness like my emotional instability. And I was like, okay, this is where we're going.
No, to like what I meant, I guess, was like a witness of this like life process, but at the same time we are experiencing it, you know.
Sometimes it helps to like act like you're looking at it from an outsider's perspective.
Yeah, because I don't think like what was your biggest goodbye before university? Can you remember?
Do we want to? My biggest goodbye.
What? Oh, was it your dad?
My dad leaving.
I didn't realize. Do you want to say your second?
My biggest goodbye was my dad leaving, which was hard. He moved abroad.
Sorry, I didn't realize.
And, honestly, I've had a lot of goodbyes in my life. Mm-hmm. Not like in a sad way, but not like in a very dramatic way, which makes me think I should be better at that because of my like having a family in a different country. Mm-hmm. Especially when I was younger, like my grandparents would come from the US to Switzerland for like long periods of times. So they would come for the whole summer, for example, and like stay for 2-3 months. I would get very used to them being like around us. They would live like with my grandparents in Switzerland too, or they would live with us, or we would go in like our vacation, like our cabin, and we would spend time with them. So I would be around them a lot because they obviously also had summer vacation. So I just remembered after like those long periods of time of like them being with us and me getting used to that, it was always very difficult to say goodbye to them. And with them, I never really knew when I would see them next. Mm-hmm. Like, of course, like the hope was that they would like plan a trip again like in a year, but you never really knew, you know. And then sometimes stuff like COVID happens and you don't see them for like 3 years, 4 years. So I feel like those were like those are like my earliest memories of saying goodbye, like when I was like 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, like very present throughout my childhood. And that was always hard.
I'm trying to like think of any like dramatic goodbyes, but I think the only one was my sister leaving when she went for the year abroad in high school to the US. But the goodbye, I think it was at the airport where I think even my dad almost cried, or like he had watery eyes. I can't really remember it from my perspective. Maybe I just blocked it out because I remember like that it was hard when she was gone, and now I think it's even weirder because now I'm like kind of putting myself into her shoes because I know what it feels like. And she was even younger. That's insane to me. She was younger and she was gone for the whole year, and she also had like some horrible experiences with the first family she was in, and honestly I don't know how she did this.
No, honestly, those people who like went abroad during high school, you know, insane, like those exchanges to the US that a lot of people did, I have so much respect for them because that is insane to me.
I think the other side of it is though, because now we're older but we're here for longer, whereas they were younger but they were there for like shorter period of time, or like more what's the word,
limited,
temporary,
like, yeah.
I mean, both are hard.
I mean, if you were lucky, you had like a good family and that like automatically kind of integrated you into everything, I guess. I mean, a lot of people don't have great experiences with that, but still, you know, like that was kind of the idea of the program.
But it is insane to me when like people go at like 15, 16. I'm like, how?
Yeah,
you're just a baby. I would not survive.
Yeah, that's a thing.
So I think maybe that goodbye. Honestly, I can't remember. But other than that, I can't really remember like any huge goodbye besides that.
No.
So I guess I was lucky. I don't know.
Yeah.
Three, 2, 1.
Book club.
Do you think this is annoying to people?
Yes, I do. Every time it's a little bit annoying to myself too, but I love it at the same time.
Okay, well, we'll pretend it's not annoying to people. Yeah. So.
Right. So books, don't have them. Don't know them.
Books.
I'm still reading the same one I was reading last time, and I've probably progressed like 3 pages.
Yeah. What? But I told you should stop reading. I will give you one of my books.
Okay.
And you'll read that.
Okay.
And then I'm trying to think of which one I will give you. But you will read that, and then you'll continue this one. Because you just need something good, you know?
I do.
You know?
Yeah, because I'm spiraling. I'm not going to lie, I'm spiraling a little bit. I don't know why I don't enjoy reading anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'll do that.
I mean, maybe I could give you the one I'm reading now because I'm almost finished. And it's not... I mean, it's good. It's good. It's not like as crazy as like Daisy Jones and the Six.
Is anything?
And it's pretty like deep with like family stuff,
good.
but it's like it has really nice moments, which I think we appreciate because of our like experiences. So maybe you could read that.
Sounds good.
I finished Malibu Rising. I don't think I finished it when we recorded last week.
No, I don't think so.
So I finished that. I loved it. It was great. I read it really fast. I think though, I loved the book, but I think you hyped it up more.
Hyped it up too much. Interesting.
Like I the thing is, I loved the book. It's just I think I had like from how much you hyped it up, I had a like certain picture in my head, like with Daisy Jones and the Six.
Did you like that one more?
Maybe, but maybe because it was like an amazing experience, but it was just like the first time when I was thinking about the characters when I was in school and stuff. And now it happened too, but I was already like, I experienced this. I know what it feels like. But I still like loved the book.
What do you mean when you were in school?
But like when I was in reading, and I would still think about like when I was...
Oh, that didn't happen with you. This one, like, this book...
What?
That didn't happen with Malibu Rising, is what you're saying.
It did.
Oh.
But I was like, I already experienced this, so it's not like this, what is happening?
For me, I just liked the vibe of that whole book.
I loved
the world. I loved, like, the emotion I felt when I would think about it.
No, I 1000% like loved the book. It's just, I think I was expecting maybe something even more, like, remember when we talked about a certain moment, which I'm not gonna spoil here. And then you were like, it destroyed me. I had to put it down for a couple of hours, days, I don't know. And I was like, I expected it, so it didn't.
I don't understand how she expected that. I don't understand how you expected that.
I mean, for that feels like something bound to happen. I don't know.
It broke me.
I mean, not that I love that moment, but
now you need to read the other 2. Well, now you just bought 5 books. Why would you do that?
I mean, I think my thing is just to get a Kindle.
Yeah.
Or e-reader. And then I will start like downloading books.
Yeah.
And reading them in PDFs because I was thinking about it, and I can't just go to a store and buy the book I want for price. I can't do that. Because I know I'll read it once.
Yeah.
I only keep a few books that I reread, and it just breaks my wallet if we're at that.
And these ones you read so fast too, you know.
Exactly. So either I get them secondhand or I find them on the internet or something. And I think once I have the Kindle, then I'll like be able to just literally read whatever I want, and then either buy it as an ebook, which is still cheaper, or download it somewhere. You know.
Yes. Sounds good. Anything else?
Have you watched anything?
Let me see. Oh, this is the controversial. I mean, I don't think it's controversial, but I started watching The Office because
the US version.
Yes. I've had people around me telling me that I needed to watch The Office, and I was like, okay, I have Amazon now. It's on Amazon Prime.
How do you have Amazon, by the way?
I paid it. I bought it.
Oh, I didn't know.
I bought it when we watched Daisy Jones and the Six.
No, that was the free trial.
Yeah. But then I just never canceled it.
Because you didn't want to, or you forgot?
Because I didn't want to.
Oh.
They got me.
I was thinking about it the whole, like, every time you mentioned it, I was like, that trial probably expired already. Like, why does she keep talking about it?
No, it's just insanely cheap. Like, it's a lot cheaper than Netflix. It's a lot cheaper.
Well, now that I know.
Yes.
I think there's something from 5 Sauce on there. I think it
the
might
concert
be like,
movie.
I think so, because I saw it somewhere, and I think it's on Apple TV and Prime.
Well, then we need to do movie name. Okay. So I watched The Office.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it. I know you said the first season is worse.
How far along?
One episode. But like nothing made me laugh. Like I am watching these people do stuff and it evokes no joy in me.
You saw only one episode.
Yeah.
Well, no wonder. I didn't like it at all for the first whole season.
So I'm supposed to watch the whole first season.
Yes. You'll love it in the end. Trust me.
Can I not just skip the first season?
No. But the episodes are short. You can get through it pretty fast.
Because I know you guys said the first season isn't good.
No, honestly, like when my sister forced me to watch it, I was like, I don't like this. Like, why am I supposed to watch this?
It's not funny to me at all.
No, but with the second season, it starts being funny and then it just is great.
Okay.
But I literally didn't like it.
No, I didn't laugh once.
Yeah. But just at least watch it until the end of season 2, and then if you still hate it, stop. But you're gonna love it.
Okay. And yeah, that's it.
I didn't watch anything special. I'm just trying to remember if I mentioned this last week, if I've already started, but I started watching Gilmore Girls again. I think I talked about it.
I think we talked about that. Yeah.
I gave in, and I'm so glad I did. You know, I was thinking about it because I already probably watched the whole thing 4 times already, like in my life, at least. And I was thinking, I know, like, everything that happens. Like, why am I watching this? But then you don't remember everything. Like, you obviously remember the main plot line, but, I mean, it's still kind of, like, funny. I love it. And it's fall, and I'm watching it in fall, which is perfect. So
it's comforting.
I love it. I love it. And I think, like, I feel like we've talked about this many times already also, but like the older I am, like the different things I notice and I'm more like I'm attached to. Like this time around, I'm really focusing on the relationship between Lorelai, the main character, and her mother, Rory's grandmother. Or Lorelai and her dad. Like, I'm really, like, just focused on it, and I love every single moment when there's a good moment, because there's not as many. If you know, you know. So that's really interesting.
That's true.
And also,
that's true.
Now, because I think, like, in high school, I was more attached to Rory because I was her age, and she was in high school. Now, I'm waiting for the part where she gets into college, because I'm in university now, so, you know.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
I think
I feel like you get different parts. Yeah. Like different things from shows at different ages.
Yeah. I think this might be the first time when I'm watching it during university, so that's going to be fun.
Oh, really?
I think so. I think we've established that I haven't.
I thought you were watching it during the first semester. We can go back. We can listen to the podcast episode.
I have to recall, because I know I've watched, like, throughout the whole time I've been here, I know I watched Friends, Office, New Girl. What else?
I don't know. I also love that you watched Friends in a semester. It took me like 2 years.
I think Friends might have been like the very first semester I was here.
Okay, maybe. I thought that was Gilmore Girls.
Maybe it was.
Why have you talked about Gilmore Girls that much? And I feel like you've...
Maybe it was Gilmore Girls. I can't remember. Maybe it was, honestly.
I think so. I don't know 100% sure.
I knew it. I remembered it so well. Like, I knew what I watched each semester, but now I just lost track. Maybe I have to write it down.
Semesters are adding up.
They are. So that's it. And now,
well,
Song of the Week.
Song of the Week.
So what is yours?
I think mine is White Ferrari by Frank Ocean.
No.
Did not discover this one, obviously. It's an older song. But I rediscovered it yesterday, to be precise. And the last part, you know it.
I'm not sure. I know him, but I don't know if I know this song.
Okay. Well, in the end, it kind of like breaks down to just this. I mean, it's like some backing vocals. It's like not a lot of instruments, if any. I can't remember it exactly, but it breaks down, and it's just this beautiful, like, kind of like outro in the end, and it's the most beautiful thing ever. And nice. I love that part. I love that song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine is Greedy by, oh my gosh, by, what the hell? It's the...
You thought I would say that too?
It's new song, Tate McRae, I think. It's very trending now on social media.
Tate McRae.
Yeah, Tate McRae.
Oh, I think I know like the chorus. I don't think I've ever listened to it like outside of social media.
I have. I did it because I knew I have to do it ASAP. Otherwise, I'll get sick of the song on social media, you know? So I downloaded it. It's great. I 100% recommend.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good one. The chorus is, at least. The chorus is very nice.
Yeah. So thank you for listening.
And see you again next week.
And please give us a review.
Oh, yes, please. Yes, please.
On Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening at. I don't know. Whatever platform you're using. Please give us
Let us know what you think.
Yes.
Also, if you want us to talk about something specific, let us know.
Topic ideas. Although this semester we have a lot of ideas.
We have too many, to be honest.
Too many. So yeah, that's it. And see you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode.
If you want to get in touch, you can find all of our information in the description below.